way up. You can see there's cones forming on this tree at the very top. And do you guys see the little green bits on this tree? So at the very end of the branch, you see it's actually really green.
Oh, it's so soft.
Yeah, so this is the new growth in the spring. So they're extending their growth. And so those are gonna turn into... Hey guys, I know that somebody's watching a show right now. It's getting a little loud. So if you're watching TV or a show, could you mute yourself? That would be appreciated so we can hear everybody else here. Thank you. Awesome. All right, so when we look on the ground, we can find the cones from last year. You guys see this? So this is fairly long cone. It's almost half the size of my hand. And you'll notice right in here, there's a little piece sticking out of the cone. It kind of looks like two legs and a tail. There's a little story, actually. The native Aboriginal people talk about the story of this tree. And I don't remember the whole story, I'll be honest. But one thing I do remember is it was about a forest fire. And all the animals were running out of the forest because they were trying to escape the fire. But there was these little mice that were too small and their legs weren't long enough and they couldn't run very fast. So they came to this tree because it was so big and tall. And they asked it, can we please hide in your branches? Can we hide in your tree so we can stay safe from the fire? And the tree said, yes, you can hide here. So the little mice hid inside of the cones to escape the fire. So now, this is the story of the Douglas fir tree. You can see in the cones, it looks like there's all these little mice stuck in the cone. You can see there's little legs and then a little tail on each side. Kind of cool, right? If you see it up close, it might be hard for you guys to see. Ishitah is here and she's also taking this down with the GoPro. So you can also tune in later on our YouTube channel, Lower Mainland Hikes and Adventures, to see up close again what we're looking at.
What's that, Kaia?
Ooh, what is this? Anybody have an idea? What do you see sometimes, like in the middle of your lawn? You'll just see a pile of dirt like this. Anybody know what that could be?
Is it a dirt that I see?
Yeah, but there's a kind of animal that buries in the ground and they come up.
A beaver.
A beaver?
A beaver or a bighorn.
Yeah, it's not a beaver because a beaver's gonna be near water. But
I think it might be a squirrel.
yeah, I think I heard Raymond say that it's a mole hole. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes, so this is a mole hole. So these little moles are making tunnels underneath the earth and then they have to come up, and when they do, you see this big pile of dirt.
Wow.
So, yep, there's moles in Stanley Park too.
Is it also earthworms too?
Is there also what?
Earthworms.
Earthworms, yes there are earthworms. Earthworms are really important actually. If we didn't have earthworms, all of these trees would not have as many nutrients.
Wow, look at those trees.
Earthworms turn the tree, or they eat the dirt and then they poop it out and it makes it really like nutrient rich soil. We're just taking a look here. There's a tree here and it's surrounded by a vine. Do you guys see this? These little, they're very cute. Raymond, you probably recognize these too from our trip together. So these, do you guys remember what these are? You can tell by the shape of the leaf.
Iris.
Very close. Actually, it almost sounds like iris.
Iris. Vine. It's like the grapevine. You know those grapevines that they grow randomly on the apartment buildings?
Yeah.
Ivy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is ivy. Yeah, it's ivy. So this is ivy. There's many different kinds of ivy, but you'll see if we untangle it in the bottom here that there's a vine that it's growing on, right? The ivy is growing on a vine. So many years ago, when the English settlers came to this land, they brought plants with them for their gardens. And English ivy was one of the plants that they brought. So we consider this plant an invasive species. Invasive means it kind of invades the space of other plants. And it kind of takes over the whole thing. So if they let this ivy to grow, it would probably grow all the way up this tree, and it would circle around the tree over and over again, blocking out the light. So the tree wasn't able to get enough light. So we have to work sometimes in the parks to clear some of these invasive species out of the parks. All right, it looks like we're almost here. Lumberman's Arch. Nice and open. This is a beautiful spot. Wow. I love this tree. I don't know what this is. This is a very red leaves on this tree. It's really pretty. That might be something we can look up later. One thing you can get on your phone is this app called iNaturalist. And that iNaturalist app, you can like look up so many cool things. So you can take a picture of it and it will find it on the internet and suggest to you, is this what it is? And you can compare as the pictures match. So I have that on my phone, but I'm using my phone right now to do our Lower Mainland hikes and adventures. So, all right, we're coming up to Lumberman's Arch here. So as you can see, these huge old growth trees underneath. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. And you can see the arch of these trees. Oh my goodness. I see there's a little tree growing right out of it too at the top now. So this is Lumberman's Arch right here. Lumberman's Arch. Wow. So it's pretty huge. You get an idea of how big the trees were. When they came to Stanley Park, they were all big trees like this. As you can see, Ishitah, how small she is in the middle of the trees. Wow. You can get an idea for how tall this is. Yeah, this is interesting. There's a little sign here about the coyotes. If you see a coyote, do not run. Stop and face the coyote, make noise, and wave your arms. Scaring them away modifies their behavior and restores healthy boundaries. So